Okay, so for week 2 of winter anime, the shows continue. A lot to talk about here. Some more kind of progressions, good stories. A lot of like degenerate shit again, Chain Soldier, gushing over magical girls. But we had so many like cool animated moments, a lot of like cool fights, action as well. Frieren was fun. A lot of these isekais romance shows were pretty solid. And also there's another anime I didn't talk about last week, I'll talk about it this week. It's a Mappa original, Bucchigiri. So yeah, it's a bit of a mix of JoJo, high school, gangs, fighting, a horny main character that's kind of like annoying. There's also like an Indian theme that's pretty cool. They're kind of like living in these like Japanese slums with like all these graffiti, but then there's like Indian aesthetics. There's like temples, genies, their school is like a Taj Mahal. So basically our main character, his name is Arajin, and he kind of like moved back into this like Indian neighborhood, and now like everyone's trying to beat him up. There's so many fights around. He's like getting mobbed at school, and then he reunites with his childhood friend and everything. But yeah, just like a lot of fighting going on. So yeah, the theme is that Arajin, he's kind of like a loser, just like running away from fights, but yeah, people are just like hazing him because he's the new kid on the block. And eventually he gets like all his clothes stripped off, he gets chased into the shrine, and while he was about to get his underwear stolen, about to get beaten up, he kind of unlocks this genie from the shrine. So this genie is kind of like a honky, or they want to be honkies. Honkies are like kind of like godlike characters that basically live to fight. So he kind of merges with the genie, and then the genie asks him for his wish. So yeah, his wish is not to get stronger, it's actually to get laid. So similar to like a Chainsaw Man Denji type of motivation, our main character wants to have sex. So he kind of like gets the power through this genie whenever he like feels his strong desire coming through. The genie will lend him his power, and our main character Arajin will kind of like punch someone, get like a really strong punch. So he fights off one of the main villains, Jin, who has like this green hair, and then Jin kind of gets attracted to him. I guess there's like a theory going on where whoever he punches will get attracted to him. So maybe he has to punch a girl to like fulfill his dream of getting laid. So yeah, there's a girl that's kind of like playing with him, but she's also attracted to her own brother. So her name is Maharo, and a big brother, his name is Marito. There's 2 episodes so far, and each of them has a sick choreographed fight scene, just like cool movements, dodging, brawling, grappling. So I really like the main dude's best friend, Matakara. He seems to be way too nice, but also strong. So yeah, I don't know if the main character deserves him, but it looks like they made the main character kind of insufferable. He's very weak, he likes to complain a lot, but he's also trying to isolate himself. Also, he's like kind of horny. So yeah, just like a lot of stuff that makes him hateable, but maybe like, this is classic character development. I really like that about him, because if he does get redeemed later, if we learn like, oh, he had a sad backstory, that's why he moved out and moved back in, or maybe he's just like afraid of fighting, that'll probably enhance his character a lot. But yeah, just like a crazy ass new anime, kind of just like JoJo high school with genies. I have no idea what to expect, but the quality's pretty high, the show's pretty fun, opening, endings are bangers, so I guess I'm gonna keep watching. Also after that, we got Solo Leveling episode 3. So yeah, our main dude Jinwoo, we saw that he got murdered at the S rank dungeon. The statues kind of like stabbed him into the ritual circle. But right as he was about to die, he got like this menu prompt pop up, and it's like, oh, you've unlocked certain conditions for this like level up quest. So yes, click on this or you will die. So yeah, I guess he did click on it, and then he's like awake at the hospital after like 3 days of being like in a coma. And basically he kind of like has a second awakening, where like hunters in this world, they usually have 1 awakening, but the fact that he survived makes people think he had a second one. But when they kind of like gauge his power to see if he got stronger, he still has like kind of like level 10 power. So he's still very weak, he's kind of like disappointed, but then we see that he has like an interface in front of him. So it's like those video game isekai things. So now it like tells him his daily quest. So to get stronger, he has to do daily quests. But the funny part is like, it's kind of like the One Punch Man parody training, where it's like 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, 10-kilometer run each day. Like unironically, he has to do just like the basic ass One Punch Man bodyweight workouts. I mean, the running is like probably the hard part. Well, I mean, in One Punch Man, the hard part was like not using your air conditioner heater. But yeah, basically he's kind of just like training in the hospital. We see, yeah, most of the people were dead that went into the dungeon, but a lot of people did escape, and a lot of people are scarred. Like, the main leader lost his arm, and then Juhi, she's very traumatized. She wants to see Jinwoo in the hospital, but she also sees that he's busy training, so maybe she, like, leaves him alone. And then, yeah, Jinwoo's just, like, trying to get stronger. It looks like if he misses a daily quest, though, then he has a penalty. And we see one of the penalties he has is he just gets teleported into like this magical world and has to run around and escape and survive. So yeah, basically just like, random video game stuff going on. And then at the end of the episode, we see that Mr. Solo Leveling, he kind of gets a key to a secret dungeon, so he kind of explores the dungeon on his own to get stronger. The thing is, he gets locked in, so he has to either like kill the boss or die. So there's a lot of trash mobs so far, a bunch of goblins and a wolf. but our dude, he puts like all his stat levels into strength. The thing is, there's a lot of monsters and there's no healer, so he has to kind of like dodge and attack. And if he takes too much damage, he might die. But the thing is, you know, he's the main character, so yeah, Jinwoo probably won't die anytime soon. We gotta see him get stronger, get buffer. So yeah, he's kind of just like training so far. This is just the early stages of his training. Depending on the pacing, they might cut a lot of the repetitive stuff, and he just like skips ahead to be like kind of like an A rank adventurer. I guess we gotta see. It's like pretty by the book so far, you know, standard training, more video game isekai setup. But yeah, I thought it was funny that he had to do the One Punch Man training every day. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen next week. Is my man gonna get stronger? Is he gonna lose his hair? Stay tuned to find out. And now for Sign of Affection episode 3. Yeah, I'm talking about this romance show. I kind of wanted to like the show. The environments look very clean and the main character is like super cute. Seeing like a deaf character, hearing her inner thoughts is actually kind of nice. Seeing her navigate through this world. But yeah, most of the aspects of the show is insufferable. Like, I'm used to shoujo romance shows. I know the main dude's supposed to be kind of like creepy and stalkerish, but at the end of the day, he'll protect you. But yeah, I don't really like how it's done here. Also, the main girl, she can read lips like pretty well, but yeah, no one seems to be doing sign language like in front of her. Not even her own mom. Only like her childhood friend is doing it, which I kind of like. But yeah, the childhood friend also has his own type of issues, but he's like my favorite dude so far. Yeah, the main dude is basically the Rizzler. Everything he does is just like the HR meme, you know, harassment versus unspoken Riz. So yeah, he just like pats her head a lot, touches her face at every interaction, constantly grabs her hands. It just feels like he's treating her like a pet instead of a human being, so I don't like that. However, you know, she's down. She kind of like comments how aggressive he is at the first meeting, but then she gets used to it. So, I mean, if it's consensual with her, then, you know, I have no reason to complain anyway. We see that the childhood friend character is also pretty protective. Obviously, he does have feelings for her, but since they've been friends for so long, he can't really break through that barrier. Also, he kind of wants to like protect her in like a bad way, where he's like, deaf people shouldn't leave their houses because this is like way too hard for them to live in society. It's kind of weird. Like, they definitely wrote that to be like unnaturally weird. So yeah, they gotta make him like somewhat unlikable to like enhance the main character. I mean, the main love interest is like rizzing every girl he sees. He also like can travel like worldwide. He's Mr. Worldwide. He likes learning languages. That's his hobby, even though he is a bartender. So like, how does he get time off to travel so much? How does he have the money, the finances to travel? It's a bit sus, but yeah, I mean, he also takes an interest in the main girl because, you know, sign language is a new language he doesn't know. And he doesn't even need to travel to learn. He can like kind of get close to her to learn. So I guess that's why he kind of like falls for her, because it's like an avenue for him to like enhance his hobbies of learning languages. The whole environment seems way too negative. Like, I was expecting something different for a cute kind of like shoujo romance show where the main character is deaf. But yeah, it's not really doing it for me so far. Although I do love Dangers in My Heart, so another like kind of like romance anime. This one, yeah, middle school romance. So yeah, this week, episode 3, he actually visits her house again. So we saw last episode, he kind of left her house. He had to kind of sneak past the mom, and the dad actually saw him like coming out. So yeah, the dad looks pretty scary actually. He kind of looks like an older version of Kyotaro. That's like maybe like a bit more murdery. But yeah, basically it's kind of like Valentine's Day coming up, so the girls have to make chocolate. So yeah, all the girls in the class kind of like make plans to meet up at Yamada's house, and Kyotaro is invited. The thing is, Yamada's mom thinks it's kind of weird. She's a bit strict, and she's like, oh, how do you know my daughter? One of the other girls kind of like says that he's her boyfriend. And then that kind of makes Yamada mad. So Kyotaro doesn't really deny this, and things kind of get awkward, so he decides to leave early. But then he doesn't really want to live a lie in case there's a chance him and Yamada do get together. So he kind of like tells the truth as he's about to leave. He's like, oh, I'm friends with your daughter, I'm single, I'm not dating that girl, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they kind of like hash out any misconceptions. The dad actually comes in as well. And then he's pretty open and fun, so he actually likes playing video games. Yamada also loves the interactions. So yeah, you know, cute episode. Things are going on. You know, Kyotaro meets the family. It might be a bit awkward in the future, but besides that, you know, the show keeps it cute. Alright, so for Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, episode 19. Kind of crazy episode, just like, you know, the Chunin exams keep going. So yeah, if you don't know, yeah, they're doing like their exam to get their magical license, because they needed to keep going up north to fight demons. So basically, yeah, they're split up in teams. We see Fern's team is kind of like very strong, and it has like that green-haired psycho girl. And basically, they caught the bird pretty quickly. So yeah, now they have to kind of like survive other people attacking them. So Fern and her party are trying to fight off attackers. We see Fern is just like very strong. She's barely even trying, and she said that her teacher Frieren said you only need to know this one spell to beat the mages of this era. So yeah, Fern is just using the Zoltrak blast and casting barriers. That's all she's doing, and the girl she's fighting seems kind of mad, although she is kind of strong. We see Frieren, her team still hasn't caught the bird yet, so they kind of make this elaborate plan where Frieren has this spell that can like capture a bird, but they have to be very close to her. So they kind of make a plan to freeze the main lake So then the bird who wants water has to like go to like a different water source. And we see that this bird doesn't like mana, so basically one of the other girls kind of enhances all the other water sources. And then finally there's like one water source left, so that's where Frieren is camping at. She suppresses her mana completely, so the bird kind of like jumps on her shoulder, and Frieren easily captures it. So you know, solid episode, good planning, just see the characters doing their thing, very sick animation. Although the fact that Frieren froze the lake, everyone is kind of mad at her because now all the birds are like running away. They're not attracted to the lake anymore. So I guess they started like chasing down Frieren and attacking her team. So more battles are probably going to happen next week, although I doubt that Frieren and Fern's party are going to have any trouble. Okay, so for Chain Soldier episode 3, a lot of stuff actually happened this episode, which is pretty nice. We see, first of all, Yuki and Kyoka kind of go on a date together to relax after, like, you know, doing some paperwork in the overworld. So yeah, they start eating parfaits, they like eating sweet things. And they also share their backstories together on, like, you know, why they want to get stronger and fight the Shukis. So basically, Kyoka's mom died from, like, this big Shuki attack back in the day, and then their whole city kind of got destroyed as well. So then the one that attacked was the one-horned monster that actually got away. So Kyoka's kind of training, trying to get stronger for revenge, trying to kill this, like, one-horned monster. Also, after that, we see Yuki's backstory, where his sister got killed by one of them. So he also wants to kind of live his life trying to get stronger as well. So after they share their backstories, they get called into the Mato world for like an emergency fight. There's some more Shukis kind of like popping up. So yeah, they get ready. Yuki kind of transforms into like the big slave monster, so they run to the base faster. But then he also has to get rewarded for that, so Kyoka kind of like invites him to undress her socks as his reward. So yeah, this dude got a foot fetish. It's kind of been suppressed so far, but yeah, this episode is like full on. Like his reward at the end of this episode was getting his balls like stomped. So yeah, I guess like very cultured individual right there. This man is into the feats. Anyway, like as they fight the new monsters coming through, we see that there's a new villain. So it's like this girl, but she's riding the one-horned beast. So Kyoka gets like really angry seeing the one-horned guy. She instantly starts attacking it, but it's too strong. But then we see the girl that's like controlling him. She's actually Yuki's sister. So that just like got revealed here out of nowhere. There's like a lot of weird developments, but yeah, we'll see how it progresses. I kind of like that, you know, Yuki needs to get stronger to kind of beat her. And I like the pacing. We immediately like have a goal to like, you know, fight the sister. She gets away. It seems to be actual people that are like controlling these monsters. And we don't really know their motivations, but I guess, you know, destroy the world type of thing. We see that this girl's like really obsessed with her brother, so yeah, maybe they'll see each other again. But after all this fighting, we see that Yuki's not strong enough to kind of beat the one-horn dude, so he does have like another concrete goal to get stronger. At the end of this episode, we meet some new characters as everyone kind of like goes back to the dorm safely. Some people got injured, but yeah, we meet some new characters to end the episode. So yeah, there's like other factions fighting. So yeah, more waifus, I am down, and yeah, that is it for Chain Soldier this week. Okay, so for Metallic Rouge episode 2, I'm kind of liking the show. It's kind of insane. Each episode has some sick animation, and then the environment's also like pretty cool. It's like we're on Mars. There's a lot of history going on, a lot of wreckage, industry, like post-war type of stuff. So we see our main two characters, Rouge and Naomi. After they killed one of the androids, they're kind of like going on to the next city. So they like kind of travel on this like kind of desert tour bus with like a lot of other characters. And then yeah, as they're traveling, we see all these characters interacting. They get ambushed by 3 other like mercenary cars. So now they're kind of like taken as hostages. And they want Rouge. So yeah, we don't know why they're trying to like kidnap Rouge. We don't know who wants her, but they start fighting back. A lot of these people on this bus are kind of badass. There's like this old lady that takes over driving the bus. We see there's like a journalist with a camera fighting one of them off as well. And we see there's like this bodyguard android protecting these 2 people. I was kind of surprised that like these people are kind of like taking this in stride. I thought they'd give up Rouge instantly. And yeah, they just continue driving, try to lose them. There's like this like giant robot that gets activated actually. So there's like a huge amount of like Michael Bay level explosions as they kind of like drive off. Rouge is like fighting it. She goes into like her mecha body form and basically slices off this like screwhead monster. So yeah, a lot of like animation, solid world building so far. We get like this mercenary group, and yeah, there's still a lot of setup. There's definitely going to be more setup to come because this world is pretty big so far. It's like a lot of different races, a lot of like different companies and groups going on. All right, and after gushing over Magical Girls episode 3, another D-Gen episode. We meet a new character. Her name is Kiwi. She kind of has like explosion and gun powers. Her outfit is like very revealing, kind of wearing a thong and like, you know, a crop top type of thing. So yeah, Baser kind of meets her in like their villain headquarters. The thing is, since Baser is new, this girl Kiwi's like hazing her, trying to like fight her and like gauge her powers. So then Baser does not like fighting too much, so she kind of just like tries to run away. She's pretty good at escaping, so she's kind of annoyed getting dominated like this by Kiwi. So Baser does what she does best, kind of like chaining up, tying up, and torturing these girls. So she kind of traps this girl in like this hourglass and then puts like wires around her and shocks her. So it kind of like mind breaks her with electricity, and now Kiwi is like instantly infatuated with Baser. We see that Kiwi hates magical girls because they take all the attention away from her. So yeah, the fact that Baser calls her really cute after she got like electrified and tortured makes Kiwi fall for Baser. And now they kind of like go on a cute date together, but then yeah, they get interrupted by magical girls as they accidentally transform into Public. But then yeah, Baser's like really strong, so none of these girls seem to phase her. She kind of ties up one of the girls instantly. And yeah, Kiwi gets like destroyed by the other girls, so yeah, we see Kiwi still has room to grow. She's like very angry, but doesn't really think too much. So yeah, she's like spamming her guns, but then yeah, her ability goes on cooldown. And all the other girls try to attack her, but then she gets saved by Baser. So yeah, that's it for gushing over magical girls. You know, we made a new character. We'll probably meet some more new characters because there's another villain sidekick going on. But yeah, it seems like Baser is just like very strong, like cool kind of main character villain. And she's kind of like growing her harem, torturing more of these girls, but also like having fun as well. Okay, so for Undead Unluck episode 15, kind of like a sad episode. We get backstories. So yeah, we see Unmove. I thought he wouldn't join Fuko and Andy, but he actually does, which is pretty cool. I actually thought Unrepair would join them because we see that after he died, he kind of like regenerated into like this little boy body. But no, Unrepair is still like kind of being a villain. So he kind of like warns them about his goals, which is basically to kind of like rule the world because the world's about to end anyway because of like apocalypse and all these penalties. So he's just trying to have fun, like induce chaos. So yeah, him and Andy kind of fight off a little bit, but then he escapes. Also after that, we see Unmove coming in. So yeah, he joins Fuko and Andy's. He's gonna be a part of the union. The thing is, he tells us his backstory as he's about to join them, and it is pretty sad. A lot of these people have very sad backstories. So yeah, like Fuko, he killed his parents with his power because as they were crossing the street one day, he kind of like looked back to them. He used his power Unmove, so they were unable to cross the street. They were just stuck there, and they got hit by a truck. God damn, bro. He got so traumatized by that. His mom kind of survived for like a week, and then she kind of gave him this motivation to kind of live on and help other people. So yeah, he's just like super sad when he realized his power killed him. So yeah, after all of that, he kind of got depressed. He wanted to end his life, but then he realized like his parents want him to live on. So yeah, he tried to live, but like not use his power. But then he got kidnapped, and then Andy and Fuko saved him anyway. So he decided to kind of repent killing his parents by joining the union. So I guess that's pretty cool, like very tragic as well. But then we see as he's about to leave the school, one of his best friends comes in, and he doesn't want to kind of worry his friends. So he has the union kind of mind wipe them, which is also pretty sad. I was like, damn, bro, we learned about you killing your parents, and also none of your classmates are going to remember you, even if you kind of save the world. It's pretty tragic, but yeah, we see that he joined the round table. Now they're going to get a new set of quests coming in, so yeah, more stuff to do. But yeah, I really love this episode. Even when there's not a lot of action, the character explanations go pretty hard. So yeah, really enjoying this anime, and yeah, we'll see what's going to happen next time. Okay, so for Delicious in a Dungeon episode 3, yeah, the food kind of gets crazy. I thought it'd be kind of standard meat, fish, vegetable, but yeah, now we're eating armor. Yes, there's like this kind of creature called living armor, and then our main character, he kind of got killed by living armor like back in the days. The thing is, they're just like enchanted metal armor, so they're not really edible. But he realizes that they're not enchanted, there's oysters living in them, so they're kind of like binding together to act as muscles to control the armor. So he realizes this as everyone gets ambushed by the armor. He kind of like fights the head armor guy, and then yeah, they cook the oyster. So yeah, grilled living armor, like pretty insane kind of unique recipe here. And then yeah, they're just like sucking the oysters off. They made soup with it, they made salad with it, and then they kind of like boiled it. It was a cool funny adventure this week where they were like fighting off the armor, and then the main dude got a new sword, so I guess that was like kind of funny. Okay, so for the Apothecary Diaries episode 15, you know, this week was fun. Mama solving the case of the exploding building, and she's kind of like increasing her rep, making a name for herself. There's this weird old guy that actually like takes an interest in her. Also, he realizes that Jinshi kind of bought her from a brothel for a lot of money. So the next episode, she probably has to like solve a case that he's like working on. Yeah, hopefully he's not like too hostile, but he seems to be like kind of like funny trying to troll her. But yeah, this week she kind of works on a case where it's like this poisoned pufferfish, but then the merchant that got poisoned, he didn't eat the pufferfish. So yeah, how did he get poisoned? So then Mama realizes that this is like a setup. It wasn't the pufferfish, it was actually like this kind of foreign seaweed, and then the brother of the merchant kind of poisoned him and kind of blamed it on the chef with the pufferfish. You know, it's pretty standard. We saw her do this like 10 times over already. So yeah, she kind of picks up on the details, reads people's motivations, and you know, solves the case. So yeah, next week I guess we'll see her with like Jinshi's colleague. Okay, so for Villainous Level 99, kind of like a funny episode because yeah, everyone does not believe that this girl has, you know, max level power. Yeah, everyone thinks she's like a fraud. She's like lying about her powers, so I guess she has to show it off. So everyone's giving her a hard time. They want to like expel her, but then during sword training, she kind of easily beats one of the main princes, the main love interest. And then after that, she kind of like shows off her magic magic. She has like this dark magic that like dissolves things. So then they're kind of like targeting armor. She dissolves the armor. So yeah, it's pretty sick. So even though she's doing all this, more people are like kind of scared of her instead of actually like kind of believing her. So one of the other princes goes to the headmaster and they like have this whole expulsion letter for her. But then the magic teacher kind of vouches for her. She's like, her magic is like kind of insane. If we kick her out, another kingdom will probably take her. But then they still don't believe her. So she has to like show off her magic. Show off like a level 99 magical ability. So she uses black hole. This shit was like huge, kind of sucking in everything, and then the surrounding like kind of kingdom area felt it. All the citizens are just like scared shitless. And yeah, it looked like if she kept the black hole open, it'd destroy everything. So she closes it. But yeah, it seems like everyone is super scared of her now. It kind of had the opposite effect, and now people want to like kind of expel her more, I guess. Or people are actually scared of her. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, I guess she's gonna stay in the school, because if she gets expelled, then this whole environment that they were building up, all these characters are probably gonna be here for no reason. So yeah, I guess we'll see what's gonna happen next time. But yeah, pretty funny anime. I like how the main character doesn't really like put too much effort into anything. Like, she's like super strong, so like nothing really matters. Okay, so for Mashle season 2 episode 3, we get a sick fight with Rain Ames fighting Macaron. So yeah, he's the dude with like the kind of musical ability. The thing is, Rain, he has a third line. He's a triple liner, and you know, if you're a double liner, you get to use like the second ability. You get to use like a lot of like crazy shit. If you're a third liner, bro, you're blessed. Kind of like extreme level power given to you by the gods. So he kind of has this black beam. It's called Summon Aries, and just like destroys the whole area. It's like Gojo's hollow purple on his ass. And then Macaron kind of survived. He said he was holding back a bit because he wanted to save some of his companions from dying. But yeah, we have not seen the last of him, it looks like. He's part of the Divine Visionary exam, so yeah, Mash might fight him in the future. But it looks pretty sad because all these people are targeting Mash. His grandfather is kind of like, oh, I'm sorry I had to like bring you into this world. I'm sorry you had to like kind of live life struggling. But then Mash is like, I love that you brought me into this world. I love that I was able to make all these friends and everything. So yeah, you know, stuff is going good. Mash is staying positive. He's kind of starting off this Divine Visionary exam with all these other people. So their first test is they kind of get a key inside of this like magical monster. But then the problem is they're being chased by like these like killer monsters that have like axe cleavers around them. So yeah, I mean, this is probably no problem for Mash, but yeah, maybe all the other characters are gonna struggle. We see Finn is also there. I'm kind of scared for him. I don't know how he'll survive this. But yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. The plot is getting kind of serious. So yeah, I guess there's gonna be more fights coming in the future. And yeah, that is it for the animes this week. Thank you for watching. You know, pretty solid week, very fun. Bucchigiri kind of like impressed me on how like funny and unique the story is. I love the Indian aesthetic. You don't really see that too much, just like different cultures and anime. So yeah, solid fighting this week. Also, yeah, all the other fantasy shows and romance show doing their thing. So yeah, let me know what your favorite anime this week was, and I'll see you next time.